Hey guys, Pope Sano here, back with another VOD review. Today we're going to be looking at an Emerald Briar player. And, you know, honestly, like, this champion has actually become very, very strong, and I'm kind of interested to see how you pilot it. Obviously, the W mechanic's kind of weird, but yeah, anyway, before we get into all of that, I just want to say, if you're watching these or if you've watched any of my past VOD reviews and you're interested in getting a VOD reviewed yourself, head to my Discord. The link will be in the description of this video and as well in the channel bio. Everyone's free to join, and you know, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you also get a bunch of perks in the Discord. There as well, you'll be able to find my coaching information. So all right, let's get right into it. So what do we got going on? Beginning of the game, we are kind of chilling right now. Obviously, like, you know, if we're like, this is a VOD review, so I'm gonna start pointing this stuff out, guys. Remember, we're about getting into the details here. This is an Emerald player as well, and so ultimately at the end of the day, they want to get into Diamond, right? So this is the type of stuff you need to start doing. If you want to be Diamond, stop doing this. No more of this. All right, start defending your own jungle. You don't know what's going on. Obviously, these two are walking back to you now, but beforehand, you didn't have any kind of any idea what was going on. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit of a skirmish early as your blue buff does spawn. So during this, obviously I can't see your camera, but I really hope you are watching this, because you would know that, well, here's a valuable piece of information. And the reason why we watch these all the time, right? Because here, Kaisa tries to heal, and we can see the animation, the heal go off. She tries to heal Kassadin, which ends up being a bit too late. So now we can play with the knowledge that A, Kaisa does not have heal. B, we're about to see Kassadin expending his TP. And C, I'm just going to put it on your vision only. And C, that Kha'Zix has actually started bot side, right? Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just start a blue side clear. Remember, guys, while you're clearing like this, you should be F-keying and taking a look at actually what's going on in the game around you. Alright, so we're continuing to clear up. So we should have an idea that Kha'Zix will, you know, meet us at, or like, he's going to be also clearing up towards top, right? Can he invade us? There's a chance that Kha'Zix invades us, but I don't think that he wins that fight anyway. So, what I would say is this, right? If you're scared about him invading you, because you drop a ward, so after this camp here, instead of just walking up this way, which you are clearing somewhat incorrectly, I know you told me that you're new to Briar, which is totally okay, but instead of basically walking up this way, if you're scared of Kha'Zix invade, come and ward right here, or, you know, just take the extra second and ward around this this wall as well. That's totally fine. But basically doing this and dropping this ward is just kind of useless. Like, just even if you come into the pit here and just ward over, you're going to give yourself a lot more vision as to what could be going on. Okay. So obviously the Briar clear is looking pretty rough mechanically, but if you are interested in how to clear on Briar, I actually did a guide on Briar, which I'll put up somewhere above here. Okay, so we do come across Kha'Zix. Really cool. So what have we learned here, right? And for those of you who are watching as well, like, the question is for you too. What have we just learned here? Well, we know for a fact that Kha'Zix being level 3, and if I press tab, that should mean that he has 20 CS, which I'll just show that for you right now. Yep, 20 CS, and we know that because he has cleared basically, you know, he's cleared his bot side, 1, 2, 3, and then he's cleared 2 camps top. We know that this is Gromp just based on the spectate thing, but for you don't know which minor camp he has not cleared, right? If you're seeing him up here already, it's likely that it is a topside camp that he did not clear. But again, just based on the fact that he has 20 CS and he's level 3, we know that there is a camp he didn't clear. Now, my question for you is, you actually let him get away with something here, right? Because if I'm you, I'm continuing to walk into his jungle. Like, he's half HP, you're almost full HP, you have priority top, and you have priority mid right now. So you're actually letting Kha'Zix completely off the hook here. And really, like, I'm just gonna go back to all vision, right? So if you're thinking that, for example, maybe it's his Gromp that he didn't do, like, you should just even just walk in and just, hey, what's going on, right? You have Set and you have Kayn that can move so quickly to you, especially the fact that it's a Kassadin early and an Alawi. Like, what are they gonna come and do, right? So I don't, you've let Kha'Zix really get away with some kind of bad pathing on his part. And in Emeralds, you're going to still see quite a bit of pretty poor pathing. Okay, so we're kind of using our priority to head towards the bottom side crab. Now, this is, I'm not a big fan of this, okay? And if you watch all my coachings, you're going to see a theme. I'm very rarely a fan of actually crossing through mid and taking both crabs, okay? Yes, you're up in tempo on him because he doesn't clear as fast as you, and he tried something stupid and got punished for it, right? Where he comes out into the river and gives up all this information, okay? So that's a nice position to be in for you, but now what that's telling you is if you're not going to try to punish him for this, you need to use your tempo in a different way, okay? Using your tempo, again, on just a bit of gold and a bit of XP, like first crab, level 1 crab is brutal. It's brutal, okay? So I don't really want to see us going for level 1 crabs. What I want is for you in this situation, what I think is best is just a base. If there's nothing to do, just base. Go and spend your gold. You have more than enough gold to spend at this point. After full clear, you have 900. If you just based up here, you'd have about 850 golds, okay? So you can get a few components, double longsword, boots, like whatever it is you want, right? If you're going towards a stride breaker or gore drinker, you can decide. But you get your components, and you're back out on the map much faster than Kha'Zix will be doing anything. Because even if Kha'Zix comes and takes this Scuttle Crab, well, he's now left a full camp up. He can't do both things, right? He can only do one thing. He either has to choose to do the camp that he has not done, or he needs to choose to try to contest this Scuttle Crab. All right? It is infinitely better for him to get his camp and then to base, or then to look for the Scuttle Crab or whatever, right? Obviously, he's not going to do that because he knows that you're crossing through mid. But here, he can only do one of two things. You are using up too much tempo, because this is what's going to happen, right? Kha'Zix will clear his wolves. He's going to base. Now he's back out on the map towards his camps that are spawning at a higher level threshold at the same time that you were going to be. So this was a golden opportunity for you to say, okay, Kha'Zix, if he goes and takes a crab, if he takes his own camp, whatever, I'm going to be back at my Gromp at 420, right? Because that's approximately when your Gromp is going to spawn. And if you can insta-clear again, you are going to slingshot yourself ahead in XP, right? Because you're full clearing way faster than Kha'Zix is going to your higher level camps. And that type of thing, it'll compound, because then again, you get even higher level camps that come up way faster than him. So here, okay, so now we're running into a fairly big, I would say it's a fairly large mistake. And this is only going to get way worse for you if you do this in 13.20. Because right now, it's not punishing you as much, but you're taking this camp when you have so much gold in your pocket, you're simply doing this way slower, right? If you go to your wolves, same thing. So what you've basically done is, let's say, for example, I don't know when you base, like I haven't watched this yet, right? But let's say if you base after this, or if you base after this, well, now you're just splitting the timer of your camps, right? Your bot side is going to be down while your top side is going to be spawning, right? They're on totally different timers. We don't want to do that, especially as a champion like Briar that can full clear. Now, the other issue is if you just decide to simply, full clear your whole jungle again and do every camp, well, now you've just full cleared, like, so much slower than if you just spent your gold. Now, next in 13.20, right, in 13.20, with camp durability going up by approximately, it's going to be between 5 and 10%, right? So when we're talking, you know, this much extra HP and you haven't spent your gold and you're getting less healing from the camps themselves, you know, all these things, it's going to start to compound. And basically the way you can think about it is like, in your first clear, you're walking on solid ground. You're walking on a level plane. You're fresh. But now, because you didn't spend anything and you're coming back, it's almost like you're walking uphill a little bit, right? If you imagine Gromp is like the bottom of a hill, and every camp you go up, it's kind of just on an incline. That's the way you need to think about it. And next patch, this is going to be like, if you decide to do Gromp again without spending your gold, you're going to be walking, you know, you're going to be... your thighs, let's just say your thighs are going to be burning because it's going to be really, really difficult. So anyway, I know I spent a lot of time on that, but this is a fairly large mistake, I think. By the way, this is a fairly large mistake in Emeralds, okay? And if we want to start hitting Diamond, this is the type of thing I want to see us clean up. So yeah, you're just going to full clear again. So okay, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, all right, but again, I just feel like I need to repeat myself. You are literally full clearing your jungle, while on your person you have almost 1,300 gold. You could have an Iron Spike Whip, for instance, that gives you ton of stats, gives you the active to help the AoE down camps, so on and so forth, right? Like yeah. Anyway, you get my point. So you're just doing this so much slower. Okay, so again, right, like, so now, I mean, you're doing this super slow, and now you're also going to look for a gank when you have now 1,400 gold on you. Not only do you have 1,400 gold on you, but you've full cleared everything. You've put yourself in a position where you need to clear this in a line, right? Otherwise, because you're walking through here, now this just spawns slower. And so you've put yourself in a position, again, where not only are you clearing the second clear so much slower, but now imagine if you just come back and you do another full clear towards top. There's going to be a chance where you're just chilling beside your unspawned raptor Krug camp waiting for it to spawn. Not only that, but you've put yourself in a position where you've shown on a ward, right? I'll go back to your vision. But yeah, I'm kind of harping on this because it like, your early game is 10 times slower than it needed to be. Okay. Alright, so mid goes down. Our mid laner's doing really well. Now, looking at this, right? Okay, on the dive, what happens here? In this position, we see you walking back into your jungle. You want a full clear. So, in my opinion, you're being a little too focused on your clear right now. If it were me, I'd be coming here because this guy's about to be extremely low. We can see the tower shot gonna hit him, chunk him down to very low, right? We need to shove this in because as you can see, where this is gonna freeze is like right here. And depending maybe on a bit of RNG, of kind of mini wave RNG, maybe it'll push into Kayn. But here, I think we just want to walk mid and say, hey, let's help Kayn shove this out. It's a cannon wave. That'll deny casting an entire cannon wave and reset the wave for Kayn. So, right, so see how he needs to stay because this can't freeze here on him. Well, we don't know where Kha'Zix is, right? This is the perfect situation where you are neglecting a lane that really needs help here, and if Kha'Zix comes and picks this up, then that's the type of thing that sways a game. It seems very small, right? But I hope that everyone watching actually sees this really, really clearly. I think this is super instructive. So what you've done is you have intentionally slowed down your entire early game by trying to clear too much with too much gold on yourself. And now you're also, because you're too focused on the clear, not only are you slowing down your early game, but you've put your mid in a position, and I'm saying that you've put your mid in a position because you could help alleviate this. It is his fault, you know, potentially for overstaying here, but you've put your mid in a position where if he dies, suddenly your early game is slowed down and Kha'Zix's mistakes that he's made early have been alleviated, right? This is how games can turn. Like, this is why jungle is so difficult as a role. Alright, and there he is. Okay, so level 5. He's still behind you, which is to be expected. I mean, it's a Kha'Zix. He does not clear nearly as quickly as you do. Alright, so again, you're going to go ahead, and this is the third full clear of the game. now this is good. Like, you see, look how much faster you're clearing these camps. Like, you're clearing so much faster, my friend. Alright, we see that Kassadin was roaming towards bot lane, right? You were spam pinging retreat. So here, because we know that Kassadin is bot, see him roaming back. I'm trying to think. What would I have done here? Because this is kind of an interesting situation too. Yeah, so okay, thinking about this a little bit more, in this situation, you're walking up here and you actually see that Kassadin is going towards bot lane, okay? So what I'm thinking is actually, I think we can punish Kassadin for this. I don't think it's a great roam, just because well, he's literally trying to walk over the scuttle crab, first of all. Second of all, sorry, I'm just trying to think about this in my head. I definitely would not have continued doing this, now that I think about it. I would actually be like, okay, there's a chance here that we can, you know, you're ahead of Kha'Zix, you know Kane's ahead of Kassadin. I think there's a really good chance, especially if you look bottom, you could see how low Kaisa is. It makes way too much sense for me to go here, or not to go here. I would prefer you to maybe look with Kane to actually invade, or, you know, look for a potential play on Dragon. And I just say that again, this is a little more advanced. Whereas in a bit lower elo than Emerald, I would say it's a good thing to focus on your camps, and normally it still is. But here, I think all the signs are pointing me to say, nah, there's actually a pretty good opportunity to invade the bot side here, just because of Kassadin kind of being out of position, Kaisa being super low, and the fact that you have a winning jungle, winning mid, and right now priority bot lane. So these are the types of things. Again, if you're looking to hit diamond, we can't just be kind of autopilot full clearing all the time. There will be times where we need to think about, maybe we can go and actually invade here. So we see Kassadin again, and you continue up to your red buff. But you see what I mean? How, like, how juicy does this look with your bot lane right here, your mid laner right here, this guy in no man's land, and Kha'Zix camps up on the bot side, Dragon up on the bot side. It makes so much sense. There's so much to do down here, actually. So they end up fighting a little bit. You continue your clear. Okay. So now we're looking towards top, which again I'm not a fan of. Let's see what we do. Okay. So here, I don't think you should ever be thinking that you can do herald here. I mean, you just cleared a ward. They saw you. You don't have priority top. Right now you do have priority mid. I guess a little bit, like Kane's a little bit low on resources, and you don't really know where... Did you see Kha'Zix? There's some pinging going on here. Yes, you did see Kha'Zix. Okay. So this is why you decide to do it. And Kha'Zix actually showed over this. I have no idea where he's going. Okay, now I'm fine with it. Actually, let me see how far into it, or how far in are you doing it when we see Kha'Zix. Okay, so you know you're spot on a ward. You don't know where Kha'Zix is. Okay, now you spot him here. Okay, I don't mind it. At first, I didn't see that Kha'Zix was spotted down here. So if you saw that, then I actually don't mind this. Especially the fact that he showed in front of Dragon. This is totally okay. It's a little sketchy because Alawi can come to you, but overall, I truly don't mind. Okay, let's see. So you told me... I'm getting a little suspicious of you, because you told me you told me when you actually bought the VOD that you didn't want me to focus on your micro, which is, I don't know why, that's kind of bothering me a little bit. Okay, so we come in here. Oh, I think you tried to W and it locks onto Kha'Zix. I'm pretty sure that's what happens here. Okay, so we ult in. Oh, your ult hits Kha'Zix. So yeah. You're always gonna focus down Kha'Zix, but keep in mind that your chilling scream would cancel like the berserk onto the Kha'Zix here, and you could basically then latch onto Kassadin, right? So if you just tapped your E rather than just trying to use W, then it would have been fine. Okay. So you do end up picking him up. when we drop heralds here. So again, like, I can tell that you don't think about wave states very much because you actually really screw over your mid laner here. You put this wave in a position where probably half of it is going to be out, and so this is prime freeze territory, especially if we were paying attention to the fact that, you know, they have TP. This is the type of thing where I promise, if you do this in like mid to high diamond, your mid laner, like, I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, but your mid laner might just AFK on you, because you do really put him in a bad position here. Now we'll see what Cassidy decides to do with this wave. Okay, so he nukes the whole wave, and this is Emerald, right? He could have kept it frozen and made his life a lot easier, but actually he in turn freezes the wave against himself. And now Kane. Okay, anyway, it's not a mid lane review, thank God, because these people have no idea what they're doing with the wave states, and I guess that's just a product of Emerald. Okay, so we end up basing here. We do pick up the Stride Breaker. So you're very strong. You're very strong. You can see your camps are coming up. Now I hate the fact that you're doing wolves here, and the part of that is because, like, I guess your pathing out of base didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If you're wanting to go towards bot lane here, that's fine, but then I don't think you should be doing these camps at all. Like, if your idea is, okay, maybe there's an option for Dragon here, which there very well could be, depending on what Kha'Zix does and what Kayn does. Or, excuse me, what Kassadin does and Kayn. There's too many K champions in this game. I'm sorry. The reason why I say that is because, as we can see, your camps were spawned in a nice line like this, like I've been talking about, where you could clear one direction. Not the boy band, maybe the boy band if you're into them, actually. But really the thing that you're doing here is you're actually breaking, like, the line in which you'll spawn. So now this is going to spawn before your Gromp will, assuming you do Gromp after this. The other reason why I don't like this is because they give you nothing right now. Like, look how far you are from level 9, right? This actually does nothing. And you don't have any, you're not close to an item. You just bought Stride Breaker. So here, doing this camp and then maybe doing this is kind of a waste of time, in my opinion. If you want to do something like Dragon or go hold the wave, then go do that first. And then come back into your jungle when you are ready to transition towards the top side. Now, if you came out of base and you were, like, really close to level 9, right? You just needed like a camp and a half, or you needed 2 camps, or especially if you needed 1 camp, then I would be totally okay with you doing this, because that gets you to your closest power spike. Here, all of this time spent doing these 2 camps doesn't actually do anything for you, because you basically do 2 camps and you're still not level 9, and that actually ends up giving Kha'Zix the opportunity to do Dragon here, right? So look, I mean, you start basing because you recognize there's nothing to do anymore. The order of operations in which you came towards bot lane, you put yourself in a position where you're just in totally no man's land right now. You're not taking bot, Dragon's gone now, you don't have any camps up now, and there's nothing to actually base for at all. Like, you have 500 gold, sure, but that's not enough for tier 2 boosts, for example. So yeah, actually, I'm really glad that you tapped B, because it showed me that you recognize, oh, there's actually nothing to do here, and now it's the walk of shame to the total other side of the map without doing anything. So yeah, I know we've been going on for a long time about your pathing, but this is definitely, to me, it's pretty clearly a weakness. Now, again, I think you're new to jungle. If I remember correctly, you're new to jungle, and you've been having success in the jungle, which is great. I'm super glad that you have been. But the thing is, the way that you play the game, it's kind of bare bones enough, and it's simple enough that you'll beat Emerald players, right? They're not going to be good enough always to kind of overcome the fact that you're just playing consistent. But when you start to play against players that know what they're doing, and they can exploit the fact that your tempo game is not that strong, I think it'll become very apparent very quickly. So here, you know, if we check, you have a lot of CS up onto the Kha'Zix, 1 level up, which is great, but he has been able to pick up 2 kills, so you still have a bit of a lead on Kha'Zix, but I can see that it's starting to slip just because you've cleared so much, but you haven't actually done anything this game, and a lot of that, I think, is just a little bit too much commitment to actually wanting to clear your jungle. To, you know, to a detriment, right? Okay. So, I wonder, I guess my question for you would be, did you know she didn't have ult here? Because I think you die if she has ult. Like, she even misses her Q, right? Okay, we ended up killing her. That was good. I really do like that you are very focused on just getting the simple gold, like getting the gold that is available to you. I think that is great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know that I've been kind of going on about this, but getting the simple gold is never, well, I shouldn't say never, but it's very rarely a bad thing. But again, you're starting to reach a level where it can be a bad thing. And we need to start thinking a little more complex about how we're moving through the jungle and why we're moving that way, right? So again, here, I just want to point out, the only thing that is like spawning on the map here very soon, as you know, is the Rift Herald. And you're pathing away from that. So the only thing that I'm thinking right now is I hope that you base and we head out to Rift Herald after this. Okay, you throw your ulti. Okay. So I know new to Briar, but you know, if we're basing here, we're gonna head towards Rift Herald, which it looks like you are, so great job there, but why not do it with your ult, you know? It's a very low percentage ult that you're going for. Okay. So let me just see what information you have as you start to... Okay, so you know the Kha'Zix is low, you know that you have Kayn. So this isn't like the worst, but this is a little sketchy. This is a little sketchy because you don't actually have much support with you right now. Who's to say that Heimer and Kha'Zix aren't coming to you, right? You truly have no idea. So this is a little low percentage, and again, I think that if you are playing against a jungler that is tracking you, if you're playing against a jungler that is tracking you, you're gonna get punished for this type of thing. It's just too... This is too flippy for me. This is too flippy. Okay. So we got the heralds. Okay, shove mid here. Okay, so you're running towards bot lane, but I think there isn't a whole lot going on here. You're standing right beside the mid wave. When you are starting to fall behind, and I know, like right now, your team is actually up 2,000 gold, but the way that the game is going, it's clearly not trending in a good direction. When the game is even, when you're starting to fall behind, or even when you're slightly ahead, wave priority is one of the main ways in which we as a jungler can still kind of help control the game, even if you're not directly influencing like the state or the balance of power in each lane. So here, what I would have liked is like, okay, we know that Kassadin's bot lane right now. We can see 2, we can see 1. The only person that could be near us maybe is Kha'Zix. You can wave clear this very quickly. Let's get this shoved in because no one's here to collect it anyway. And depending on what's going on at that time, then maybe we can drop heralds, you know? So you use this priority. So again, right? You want to do dragon, which I think is good. Like your emphasis on objectives, I do like. But imagine this. What if this wave was all the way down here? Whoops. What if this wave was all the way down here and you dropped Rift Herald down here too? Okay, you totally don't give them any option whatsoever to come to the dragon. They have to respond to this huge push in the mid lane, even if no champions are here. That guarantees the fact that you'll get this, okay? So Kha'Zix shows up bottom. So, you know, in a game like this where like your lanes are kind of not doing that well in fights, like Kayn is doing well, but no one else is really doing that well in fights. It's like we need to do more than just the objectives, because at the end of the day, the longer that you are not influencing the game hard enough, which especially next patch, just doing that dragon, it simply won't be enough. After the dragon nerfs, you need to be, imposing your will on this game a little bit more than you are. You're too focused on the clearing. You're too focused on just getting that dragon. When in reality, if after we saw what we saw, this tower could have went down with Rift Herald and with a minion wave push. Then you're getting this. At least you are putting like twice the amount of pressure out on the map. So now you're shoving this out, but it's actually too late, right? And the reason why I say it's too late is because there is all the opportunity in the world for the blue team to be here and stop this Rift Herald push and to stop you from just doing anything here. We'll see if they are. It doesn't look like they are. But again, in higher elos, you 100% do not get the option to do that there, in my opinion. So maybe some like order of operations, bed miss. Okay. So we kind of help out the mid wave a little bit, go back to clearing. You have a lot of gold on you. What are you gonna do? Okay, who cares about red, right? Who cares about red, my friend? In this situation, the only way I want you to do red is if the item you're about to buy, which, I think you're going towards a black cleaver. Not entirely sure. But if the item you're about to buy it'll be given to you by taking red, right? The golds will be enough. It's the only way. Because you're simply, again, you're just doing things way too... Oh my gosh. Okay, it works out. It works out, but I just want to point out the fact that you have 2,500 gold and you are ulting into fight. Again, we can't be hindsight. We can't be hindsight Andes and say, oh well, it worked out. As we can see, at the end of the day, you are putting yourself in a situation in which if you go in there with 2,500 gold on you and you die giving up a 450 gold bounty to someone like an Alawi or a Kassadin or a Kha'Zix or really anyone on the enemy team, like that is a colossal throw, and you put yourself in a position where that could definitely have happened, right? Okay, so you do get the black cleaver and you get the blade steel caps. Go back to clearing. Like you genuinely, you are getting close to like basically one-shotting, especially AoE camps. Man, like I want you to be staying ahead of this curve more often. Spend your gold more often. You'll be clearing way quicker than you are, and you're still clearing well. Okay, so we get the scuttle crab. It's great. Very ahead of Kha'Zix at this point. Lux, wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lux, are you okay, pal? Okay, anyway. Alright, so, yeah, just want to point out the fact that, okay, we get the scuttle crab, which is great. But let me ask you a question. Are you in position to do this dragon here? I mean, I don't see why you would be, right? Like, yes, we know that Kassadin's top, but he has TP. We see Alawi, we see Kha'Zix now, we see all of these now, and you're doing this. I mean, A, Kayn is in a really bad position and needs help. B, you started the dragon without really any indication that you should, right? Like, we don't have the infrastructure here. We don't have wards. We don't have the numbers. As of right now, Kayn's caught out in what is about to be like a 3v1 situation. So I think that you're being a little bit too hasty once again on these objectives. It's a good focus to have, but we need to slow down a little bit and say, okay, like, is this actually something we can take now? Or when you are this ahead of Kha'Zix, by the way, right? You have almost 1,000 gold on Kha'Zix. You have you have your core items. You're very, very strong. Kha'Zix can't kill you. What I want you to do is say, all right, let me link up with Kayn. Let's bring Lux. I mean, Lux is going to miss her abilities anyway. She literally missed the dragon. But you know, let's go ahead and actually like try to find a pick here. Try to find something that says, all right, this is free. And the difference here is you're saying that I can do the dragon. I mean, it'll take you a minute to do the dragon, or at least you thought you could do the dragon when you started it. If no one came, sure, you get it for free, but that's not necessarily how League of Legends works, right? And so there it is. And this was it, right? Your too much emphasis on objectives and on clearing has finally come back to bite you, which it could have multiple times this game already, but you know, there you go, right? Now, Kha'Zix has completely closed the gap on you. He got 750 gold and the dragon from this fight. So, I know that being new to jungle, you are just wanting to play the game in a simple manner, which I think is good overall. But what I'm trying to help you understand is some of the nuances, because let's be honest, you're not playing in silver, right? And you're not playing in gold, in which maybe going more towards like the simple stuff is gonna be more consistent. If I'm not mistaken, in this game you're like Emerald 1 maybe, so you're very close to Diamond here. I want to see you having a little bit more nuance in your game. So it's like, again, right? Like we're going back to clear our jungle. Which, yeah, we're going back to clear a jungle, which at the end of the day, I mean, your team is here. You could easily be up here helping them. This fight 100% goes different, I think, if you're there, knowing that Alawi can't be there. Yeah. Like, I mean, are they inting a little bit? Like, yeah, sure, but also, I would say in some sense that a large part of... Not a large part, but at least a part of this is you're not really playing the game anymore. Like, if all you're doing is perma-clearing your jungle and only ever going for dragons despite what is going on around you, you're not really playing the game. Like, you're not really jungling, you know? Okay, good try on the ult there. And I'm being harder on you, by the way, than a lot of my other jungle clients, and the only reason why I say that is just... Or the only reason why I'm doing that is just because you are at the elo where the game's starting to get very serious, you know? We're talking like you're very, very close to Diamond here. Okay. Kha'Zix is trolling, that's good. Yeah, I like this pinging onto Dragon here. I like this. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I like the call. I mean, we could have... I think the second you killed Kha'Zix, you probably could have said... You could probably clicked in your brain that we can do Baron here. But overall, I like that you eventually got there. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. The smite here was very sketch. Okay, so... Let me just see. How do we smite this? Let me just click on you and see what abilities are. Okay, you have... Do you W smite? No. I can see that you haven't reactivated your W, which deals like the big chunk. So here, this is something that I've been talking to a lot of people about. We want to identify what the biggest piece of like burst that we have is, right? So in this situation, your biggest burst is going to be your second cast of W, and I'm not exactly sure how much it'll do. Recast to deal 333 16% missing health physical damage, which is crazy big on Baron. I know there is a cap, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I won't get too much into that, but let's just say, for example, I think the cap I want to say is like 500 damage. So if this is going to do 500 damage plus your 1200 smite, well then that's basically how you know when you can smite, right? You have 1700 damage worth of burst. So here, Baron's going down. So right here, we can basically combo and smite, right? You know that is guaranteed. It's very similar to like how Nunu would consume smite. You just know exactly how much consume is going to do, and then you smite during that animation, and you deal a massive amount of burst that no one else can do to that objective. So here, by not reactivating your W and then just smiting, you did give an opportunity for that to be potentially stolen if, you know, Kassadin somehow got into the pit or Kha'Zix somehow got into the pit, right? So just pointing that out. Okay. So we throw our ulti, that ends up going wide. Let's see how we use our Baron here. Okay, we try to lock on to Kha'Zix. I don't mind that. Good try. Honestly, good try. Yeah, this is one of my more favorite things you did this game. I do like this because we can see, one, we know that they're low. You do have follow-up from your team. I think that maybe we just messed up our E, like our Chilling Scream a little bit. So here we lock on. Autoing. Maybe you could have just held that, I guess, a little bit longer. Kha'Zix is obviously going to jump away from you, right? And so, yeah, good try as well, reactivating the W. Super close to taking out Kai'Sa there. So I actually really don't mind the way that you played that. The game is just getting a little bit too out of hand in general, but yeah, I don't mind the way you played that. I think that was a solid, confident play. And honestly, that solid, confident play where you were looking to actually influence a fight, I just wish you did this like 15 minutes ago in other areas of the game, right? Again, a little bit too much focus on the PvE. Okay, you land your ulti. Going berserk, land the Q. Great job, that was a really nice Chilling Scream. We're autoing. Yes, 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 yes. Very nice. You have your Q up. We're gonna W, we're gonna Q, Chilling Scream. Ooh, just cast it and kill everybody here. Oh my goodness, so close. Ooh, okay. Really nice job. So again, like, you, in this situation, you know you're strong, you have your 3.5 items plus your boots. Like, I really, really enjoy what you did here, actually. Again, like, remember when you came out of base and you were so much ahead of Kha'Zix and you had your full stride breaker, and then you ended up going and clearing wolves and clearing this, and then you realized there was nothing to do bot and you had to walk all the way back towards top. Like, that's what I want you to get away from, because you can basically be doing this type of play earlier into the game. Especially when you have a lead on a diver skirmisher type champion. You really need to make sure you're pushing your lead, because you're not going to be as good late game as some other champions. Especially like a Kassadin or something, right? Okay, autoing. Nice. Nice Chilling Scream. Ooh. Honestly, good try. Yeah, like, you're two different players, man. Did your older brother come and sit down to the table or what? Because, like, you're out of nowhere, you're just done clearing, and now you just want to fight. Because this is very interesting to see. So again, maybe in both sides of the game, learning a bit of nuance about when to clear, when to fight, and thinking about, like, when is your next item spike, when is your next not just your item spike, when is your next level spike, like, when is your next tangible thing that you can get, and just play towards that, and once you have that, then you're looking to make something happen. Alright? That can be stride breaker, that can be, you know, getting a second point into your ulti, like at level 11 or something, that can just be getting your ulti in general at level 6. Okay. So the opposing team is about to get, Baron here, as I can see. I mean, here this is just, I guess, a product of maybe this is probably autopilot. I mean, you can let me know later if this is autopilot or not. To me, you're running towards bot lane for the sake of running towards bot lane. Like, Baron's up, right? And so, again, in Emerald, these mistakes are going to get punished in the same way that you punished Kha'Zix for a few mistakes. If they see you bot lane at 32 minutes into the game, they're going to do the Baron, right? We just have to know that and be aware of that. Okay. So the game is about to end here. Oh, we get our fight. I just want to go back to the start of this, actually. Let's see what exactly happens here. So you're looking... So you wanted to engage here, but... I mean, no one can really follow up at this point. And it looks to me like you maybe... Okay, you have to flash away. Alright, so you do escape here. I think you kind of baited your team maybe into something just a little bit bad, you know? So, yeah, again, two different players, right? On one side and one half of the game, you weren't wanting to fight or really do much on the map at all. But then in this part of the game, you are only wanting to fight, and you're getting a little too overzealous. Yeah, I'm just gonna go down here. That's gonna be the game. Okay, so I think you're a solid player overall. I think really what you do well is going for the free gold. Clearing is very rarely a bad option, but when you're starting to get towards diamond, it's more about playing with nuance in your game, in which you know when should I be full clearing, when should I be fighting, and asking yourself questions about power spikes, about which lane should you be playing around. Because to me, there probably wasn't any of that swirling in your head. It was just, hey, let me just perma farm until I get 3 items, and then I can start fighting. But ultimately, at this, elo, that's not going to be good enough. So, yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. We focused a lot on early pathing, and hopefully you kind of got to see the dichotomy in how you started the game versus how you finished the game. But I do think you're a solid player, and if we can inject a little bit of nuance into your pathing, you're going to go far. I don't think Diamond's far off for you. All right. Guys, if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and a sub. It always helps me grow. Popezano out.